It's the start of the year and we all know what that means. We are gonna be talking about the 2025 trend predictions. 2024 was a great year for fashion. Most of the trends that came out I loved personally, and I think that a lot of people did as well. So I'm excited for 2025. We are of course gonna see a lot of trends that were already trendy for 2024, but there's gonna be a lot of new trends as well for this year. So without further ado, let's get started. One of the biggest colors for this year is gonna be the butter yellow. We saw a lot of this color on the runway, and I'm already seeing a lot of people talk about this color, purchase items in this color. I'm also seeing a lot of brands release new items in this beautiful butter yellow. It's not exactly a pastel, but it's quite close to being a pastel. I feel like it's a little bit more saturated than to be a pastel yellow. I personally love this color. I think that it's gonna be great for spring and summer, and probably those are the two seasons where we are gonna see it the most. Another color I see a lot of people talk about is pistachio green, but personally I feel like it's gonna be more trendy a khaki green, which is kind of a pistachio green but a little bit darker. I feel like the pistachio green is a little bit more difficult to pull off, whilst the khaki is way more versatile. I think that we are gonna see it a lot in suede items. Again, a color that I'm already seeing in some brands. We definitely also saw it on the runway, but I don't see many people talk about it yet. I see much more people talk about pistachio green rather than khaki. This year is gonna be the comeback of the preppy style. This essentially structured silhouettes, pastel colors, basic garments, plaid prints is associated with the college school uniforms. We are gonna see a lot of pleated skirts, a lot of polos, also these sweaters that have a v-neck or that have these stripes. This is a trend that started a little bit last year, but it didn't fully become trendy. This year, as I said at the beginning, is gonna be the year definitely for this preppy style comeback. Navy blue is gonna be a big color for this season. This is a color that started getting popular this winter and this fall season, and I do still believe that navy is gonna be such a big trend. I think that we are also gonna see it a lot for spring and summer with dresses, probably with pants, like any piece of garment or piece of clothing we are gonna see in navy. But specifically, I think that we are gonna see a lot of dresses in navy. I personally love navy, and this year is gonna become the new black. Strappy sandals are gonna be back this year, and specifically these sandals where the straps are kinda thick and they almost look like Roman sandals, but kind of the modernized version of them. I am already seeing them a lot on stores, and I think that this type of sandal is gonna be the it sandal for this summer. The Row came out with these ones that are called the Fisherman sandal, and I feel like this one started this whole trend going. Also, these sandals might be way more comfortable than a pair of flip-flops. I don't personally have one, but I do like them a lot, and I might buy a pair like this for this summer. And as we are talking about this, let's talk about the Fisherman aesthetic. This is gonna be such a big aesthetic for this year. As I just mentioned, we are gonna see a lot of these Fisherman sandals, a lot of cable knits or these oversized knits, a hunter boot. I started seeing these boots a little bit this summer and this fall, and I feel like this year they are gonna make a huge comeback. Also, a lot of earthy tones and neutrals, and more utilitarian and worker jackets. Another color that we think is gonna be quite popular is electric blue. This is gonna be a color that might not be that wearable, and I think it's not gonna be as big as probably butter yellow or navy, but I'm already seeing it on different stores. We as well saw it on the runway, and you never know, sometimes I feel like a color is not, or a trend is not gonna be that trendy, but then it becomes super big. So we'll see what happens. I personally do really like this color, and I feel like it's gonna be perfect for spring and summer. Boho chic is gonna be huge for this year. This is one of these trends that I'm 100% sure that it's gonna be trendy this year. We saw it a ton on the runway, and actually I already saw it a little bit last summer and last spring, so I'm so certain that this is gonna be a big trend for this spring, and of course for summer we are gonna see a lot of this boho style maxi skirts, this really romantic blouses and tops. I love this trend. I've always liked this type of style and this type of aesthetic, so I'm really looking forward to this trend in particular. Another aesthetic is gonna be the Nautical aesthetic with the polos, the hunter boots. Like this Nautical and Fisherman aesthetic are kind of similar, but at the same time are quite different. The Nautical aesthetic is a little bit more put together than the Fisherman. If you think about it, it's kind of the elevated sister of the Fisherman aesthetic. This style is way more put together. We are gonna see a lot of polos. Today I'm wearing a polo. I of course like polos. I think that they look so effortless but so put together at the same time. We are of course as well gonna see a lot of stripes, and it's also a little sister from the old money aesthetic. It kind of has the same vibe. The worker jacket, I briefly talked about this when I was talking about the Fisherman aesthetic. Worker jackets are gonna become super trendy this year. We already saw them a little bit for fall and winter, and this year I think it's gonna be the year for the worker jacket. I personally do really like them. They have such a relaxed feel to them, and it's a great jacket to not look too put together and to be comfortable and cozy. The cowboy era, this is a trend that Miss Bella Hadid started in my opinion, and this past year it has already been a little bit popular, but for 2025 we are still gonna see it a lot, and probably it's gonna become much bigger than it has been this past year. I feel like this year we are having a lot of different aesthetics that encompass a lot of different types of clothing. Probably it's gonna be the year where we are gonna see the most diversity in fashion. I feel like people are kind of tired to being stick to a box. So for this cowboy aesthetic, we are gonna see cowboy boots, of course, a lot of jeans, a lot of statement belts, and this aesthetic can work all year around, in my opinion. I see a lot of people talk about the comeback of the skinny jean. It could be, but I personally think that we are gonna see more of a straight jean, which is quite close to a skinny jean, but a little bit more relaxed. There's a lot of people that don't like skinny jeans for it to become a big trend. We are definitely moving away from these really big wide leg jeans, not pants, jeans, and I think that this year we are definitely gonna see more of a thinner silhouette. I don't know about skinny jean, it might happen, but for sure straight jeans that are thinner are gonna be super trendy for this 2025. The statement belt, I also talked about this briefly with the cowboy aesthetic, but not only goes with the cowboy aesthetic, I feel like statement belts can go with any other aesthetic, with the nautical aesthetic, with the boho chic aesthetic. We are gonna see a ton of statement belts. The belt is becoming kind of the essential accessory in an outfit. It's a great accessory to bring an extra detail to your outfit, some depth, some colors, some different textures and fabrics. The micro shorts are not going anywhere. They are still gonna be quite trendy for this 2025. We are gonna see the shorts a lot for spring and summer. It's a great pair of bottoms. They are super sexy and super cute at the same time, and also I think that they go pretty well with the nautical aesthetic that we are gonna see a ton. We are definitely gonna see a lot of these micro shorts in stripes for spring and summer. The reading glasses, the Miu Miu round or oval glasses started this trend this past year, and I think that for this 2025, like, people are gonna go crazy. I think that brands are gonna go crazy with these glasses. I've said from the beginning that I love them so much. I love the fact that we are finding a way to wear our prescription glasses in a cute and fashionable way. I personally don't need glasses, but I do know that people struggle a lot with this. So I am so glad that reading glasses are now kind of trendy and now are kind of popular. So yeah, definitely I think that this year we are gonna see a lot of brands coming out with this round or oval shaped reading glasses. Animal print is not going anywhere anytime soon. But I do have a feeling that we are not gonna see leopard and cheetah that much. I feel like this year we are gonna see a lot of cowhide. The cowhide started this winter, and I feel like it didn't have the time to shine. I feel like it's still gonna be quite a big trend for this 2025. Personally, love it. The only thing is that I'm not sure if this is a micro trend. I have not jumped on this trend yet because yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna last for a long time, but I personally love this cowhide shoes or the bags, and I'm already seeing a lot of brands coming out with items like this. Barrel jeans is another trend that started on the last portion of last year, and again a trend that didn't have time to become quite popular, so it's definitely gonna become really popular for this 2025. Even though I like to see them on other people, I wouldn't recommend anyone getting this type of jeans unless you really like them, because they are not as timeless as a straight pair of jeans. If you want to invest in a pair of jeans, I would definitely go for a timeless style rather than this barrel jeans that to me look a little bit too trendy. Burgundy and brown are still gonna be two big colors for this year. Both burgundy and brown I personally love. I think that they are great colors, and I think that they can definitely coexist with the other colors, all of the new other colors that we are gonna see for this year. And even though most people might think that these two colors are more for winter and fall, I think that we are gonna see a lot of dresses and summer items in both burgundy and brown. Suede, of course, is another trend that it's not gonna go anywhere. I don't think that we are gonna see it as much as last year. Maybe we will, but yeah, suede was so big. Like these suede jackets and suede bags were so big this 2024. And I think that we are still gonna see it at least for spring and maybe for fall as well. I personally love suede. I have a couple of items on suede. And even though it has been a trendy fabric, I think it's more of a timeless fabric. But yeah, this 2025 is definitely still gonna be trendy. Loafers as well are still gonna be super trendy. I'm already seeing them a lot, but I think that this trend is just still growing. I think that we are gonna see loafers much more, and it's gonna be a really big trend, in my opinion, for a really long time. I feel like loafers, if you buy a pair that it's quite timeless, can be a really timeless piece and a timeless shoe in your closet. Ballet flat is also another pair of shoes that are not going anywhere, and it's a pair of shoes that we are gonna see a lot for this 2025 as well. These shoes are a pair of shoes that we see more during spring and summer, and for fall and winter they kinda go at the back of your closet. So yeah, definitely this spring and this summer we are gonna see a lot of ballet flats. I feel like we are definitely running away from the mesh ballet flats or the jelly ballet flats, and we are gonna see more of a timeless style. I think that we are also gonna see a lot of colorful ones. I personally love ballet flats. They are really comfy and really, really cute. In terms of jewelry, we are gonna see a ton of vintage jewelry as well as vintage watches, and also a maximalist aesthetic with jewelry, a maximalist jewelry. People are leaning towards this over-the-top style. I feel like we are kind of tired of being quiet with our accessories and with our style, and I'm seeing an increase in the maximalist aesthetic in general, but specifically on jewelry I'm seeing it a ton, and I think that this 2025 it's gonna be really, really big. Next is Fringe. I do see a lot of people talk about Fringe. We saw it a ton on the runway, but I'm not sure if this trend is gonna get out from the runway to real life. I don't think Fringe is for everyone. I feel like it's kind of a really particular style that not many people love. So yeah, the prediction is that Fringe is gonna become trendy, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Charms on bags. This trend has surprised me because I honestly thought that it was gonna be a micro trend and that we were gonna forget about it really, really fast. But I feel like charms on bags are just getting started, and this 2025, these charms are gonna become so popular. Miu Miu already, like in store, displays the bags with charms, which is kind of crazy. Honestly, I feel like it is kind of a really bold move for a designer brand to sell their designer bags with accessories on them, if you know what I mean. I've talked about this before. I do like some charms, and there's other charms that I actually do hate. I think that when you overdo it or when you try too hard, it kinda looks cheap and bad, in my opinion. I don't really like it, but I do like the more minimal and simple charms. Also the little animal charms I think are super cute. So this is a trend that is growing on me, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. That's why it's getting really, really popular, and I think that for this 2025 is gonna be huge. Caps and scarves is gonna be another accessory that is gonna have a huge importance on your outfit this year. As I said, people are starting to take the route of a more maximalist aesthetic, and we are starting to throw on more and more accessories. So the cap and the scarf is gonna be a huge accessory for this 2025, specifically for summer and spring, and the caps are an accessory that could be worn all year round. In terms of bags, we are gonna see this big oversized slouchy and tote bags. This is again a trend that we have already been seeing a little bit, and I think that this year they are still gonna be trendy. We are still gonna see these oversized bags. I also think that we are gonna see summer bags in raffia or in crochet that are gonna have this shape of really oversized, of slouchy, of these tote bags. And then the other style that is actually new, and it's a new trend for this 2025, are the rectangular bags. And are these bags that are wider horizontally but really skinny, if that makes sense. And we are seeing a lot of brands coming out with this type of bags, like the Alaya bag. I think that also Miu Miu came out with a bag like this quite recently, and many other brands. I don't know if I personally love this type of bags. I think that my style gravitates more towards the big and slouchy bags, but these ones are cute as well, and they are definitely gonna be trendy for this 2025. The riding boot is another type of shoe that we are gonna see a ton for this 2025. They are super flattering and also really comfortable, and we are kind of moving away from the moto boot, and we are going towards styles that are way more timeless, styles and just pieces of clothing that will last for longer in our closet. And this is definitely the case for this riding boot. This kind of style is so timeless, and I feel like it's a style that will always be relevant. So that's it, guys. Those were all of the trend predictions for this 2025. Let me know in the comments which trend are you most excited about, and if you would like to know how I would style these trends, stay tuned for next week. Hint, hint. Okay, guys, bye.